Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack at it, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, man, we're going to talk about the cause, right? The cause and what the cause means to you. What the cause means to me, several other individuals. You know, everyone always talks about the cause. And I'm talking about the Norteno movement. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Norteno faction. You know, I was laced a little bit differently than others. You know, I was taught a few different things than other people were taught. You know, I was indoctrinated a certain way by certain individuals. They gave me the rundown, they gave me the clecha, they gave me the schooling so that I could adapt to my surroundings. Because you got to understand, in Merced, California, as a youngster, man, it was treacherous. It was dangerous. You know, we were really in the mix. You know, this is the early 90s, man. Motherfuckers would blow your top off. The funking was real. Funk season, all season, every season. And in that fashion, a menudo style, right? So I was pulled to the side by my tío and a few other individuals and gave game to. Laced up. They told me the intricacies of what was going on. Get over here, puto. Right? I don't even know what's going on. Well, we're going to tell you what's going on right now. And in that fashion, sit your ass down, right? And they gave me up. You know, it was already a foregone conclusion I was going to be a Norteño just based on the neighborhood I grew up in, the gente I hung around, and, you know, what I was into, you know, the way I was dressing already. So my tíos, they peeped this out, you know, from a distance. Okay, this little mocoso's trying to be like me one time, right? Get on over here. Let me give you the game. And it was a blessing to get the game from someone that I know cared about me, but it was also a blessing to get the game from someone that was that well versed in the game. Right? And always one of the big intricacies and the big word has been the cause. What's the cause, right? And I get a lot of authors that DM me and they say, yeah, well, what's the cause? What's this cause we hear about? There is no cause. And there is some people saying, okay, the cause is whatever you make of it, right? The real cause, the meaning behind being a Norteño, you know, is protection of oneself, one's self-awareness, you know, being up to par, man, your education, your professionalism, everything that goes into it, you know, but also it's for social status of equality. You know, we're just trying to get the benefits that everybody else gets. That's what I was taught, you know, not trying to be more than, less than, none of that, just equal. Everyone be on equal footing, because you got to understand that the Norteño movement has always been an oppressed movement. And what I mean by oppressed is oppressed by the Southsiders, oppressed by the administration, oppressed by other group segments, looked at differently because vatos were from up north, considered fameros, sodbusters, estrellas, whatever the case may be. There was a whole bunch of derogatory words thrown at the vatos, right? Ourselves at that time. But we kind of adapted to that. Vatos adapted, you know, and ran with it. 114% buster, like I have tattooed on my head. And became proud and acknowledged, man. Turned the oppression into fucking a suppression. You feel me? And that's just what it was. There was no way to actually disrespect the Norteño as far as in our eyes and the way we seen it. You know, we were dedicated fully to our cause. I know I was. There was a lot of individuals that half-stepped, weren't really about it. You know, liked what came with the gang life, you know, the girls, the money, the cars, the low riders, the image, the power, whatever the case may be, man. At the end of the motherfucking day, it was what it was. To each their own. Everyone could do according to what they want to do. But the gun, man, I was about my cause. You know, so I can't sit here and say, there's one Norteño cause, this is what it is, this is well established, this is well documented. Chale, hums. Nuh-uh. Ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? If you were being bound and you were doing your thing, you better stand on your toes, homes. You better start getting educated and indoctrinated and find out what you were really fighting for, what the struggle really was. You know, the struggle continues forever forward. On we go. It's always going to be a forever forward motion with the struggle. You know, the struggle is being incarcerated, homie. Struggling day to day. Fighting for the establishment of the yardas. You know, fighting for the establishment of your gente. Because we're up short, right? Oh, yes, indeedy, man. Norteños were always up short. And I learned that from a long time ago. You know, I went from juvenile hall catching the 187. It was all good. We were deep. It's my county. That's all there was, right? There wasn't no Sureños, no none of that. And Southsiders or any of that. And then I get to CYA and RCC, and same thing. You know, we're pretty deep. And it's all good. It's all gravy. It's all biscuits and gravy. Orale, my favorite, right? But then guess what happens? You already know I end up in Fred C. Nelson now. The coin has flipped. Orale, I got heads. Fuck you, put those tails. And in that fashion, never fails. And I end up fucking over there in Nellis, and then it was all different, right? So I had to stand on my 10. I had to stand toes down, vato. Orale, go toes, shout out. I had to, because at the same time, you got to understand that vatos were trying to do menudo massacres over there. And yes, they were trying to make sangre be everywhere. And oh boy, it was going to be ugly. You know what I mean? But I stood strong. And many others did with me, and many folded. But that's a different story for fucking 10 other different days. You know, at the same time, we always educated each other. We weren't very well educated youngsters. All we knew was how to make a fucking pedazo out of the bed springs and handle our business. That's it. For those that would handle their business, right? But we wanted to learn. We wanted to be educated and understand what this fight was for. Now, I understood at that time that fight was to survive, vato. I needed to survive. Vatos were coming from my head just based on the geography, just based on I was from up north. So I was like, fuck it. If you come for my head, I'm going to come for yours. And we're going to do it in that fashion. You feel me? And so it was on. But did I really know the intricacies, and did I really know the whole get down of what I was fighting for? Charlie, man. I thought I was fighting for Merced Califas. That's it. 209, 730. Burp. That's it. That's what I was about at that point in time. But as I got out and I got older, and I started to get at older homeboys, my tios también, vatos that were well seasoned, laced in the game, they started to really pick my mind, see where my head was at, then indoctrinate their thoughts into me and their reasoning behind what they were doing, you know. And I was told by my uncle, who's an OG, doing this fucking time back in the 70s, one of the very first structured Norteños at the time when structure first came out. Now, structure is also known as the Nuestra Raza, but of course, the administration gave it the name structure, right? He had structure real big on his back. He thought, oh my, right? He was with the business. And, you know, I started, hey, what does that mean? What does this mean? And he started giving me the rundown. Laced me up pretty much. Like Avato says, you get laced up by your OG. He was my OG. He's the one that gave me the game. And he, you know, when I asked him, I said, he said, are you dedicated to the cause? I said, Simon. He said, what's the cause? I don't know, right? He goes, well, I'm going to give you the cause. He says, the cause is whatever you make of it, Humps. He says, our cause as Norteños is to maintain on those yardas for social status of equality. It's in the bonds, right? He said, this is what we will push for, period. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. No one could take it from us, right? And he said, as long as you do that, you follow the rules and regulation in those bonds, you can't go wrong. The format is laid out for you, right? You know, I see a lot of youngsters have strayed away from that format nowadays. And there was a lot of vatos then that strayed away from it. You know what I mean? They weren't with the business like that. But me, myself, man, it was in my earlobe. It was there, you know. It was for the establishment of the people, you know, for the betterment of the people. It was always for the raza, for my people, for the northern people. This is what I strived for. This is what I fought for daily. Every time I woke up, so I was scared, it was Puro Norte. I was with the business. And I was so much so with the businessman that nothing else counted in my life. Nothing else I gave a fuck about. All I gave a fuck about was the cause, Norte, the struggle. On we go. Let's get it. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. I was like the motherfucking Tin Man. Like the Sasuke had no fucking heart. You feel me? Ding, 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 ding. Hollow, vato. You know what I mean? Oh, I got a black card with Sasuke Spencer. I don't got none. Vato, let's go. And in that fashion, this is what I was on. For a lot of years, for several years, I fought for that cause. But then I started to see that the cause for me, not for you, Vato, but for me, started to become tainted and jaded, right? And what I mean by that was I no longer felt that the people were striving in that direction. This was me. I'm not here to poison no one. That's not what I'm trying to spread. I'm trying to spread unity for the raza, for all people, that everyone can come together as one. This is what I push, you know? Brown power in a motherfucking real way. But at the same time, with embracement of all people. But what you need to understand that I myself can start seeing in my heart, things change, things flip. Vato's not embracing each other. No more canalismo. You know, a lot of individualism, homeboy favoritism, plagiarism, things of that nature. You know, what he said, she said. But that ain't a she. Well, pero it looks like one, so damn, he said, fuck this, she said in that fashion. Oh boy, right? And this is how I was going. It just wasn't what I wanted to stand for or what I stood for in the beginning. And that's fine and dandy, man. Like I said, to each their own. Every man is his own man. You know, you might be part of an organization, part of a group faction, part of a gang, part of a group segment, part of a fucking gaggle, whatever you want to call it. So let's look that word up. Word of the day, gaggle. Orderly goose, right? But at the same time, you're not going to feel how that man feels. You're not going to put the substances in your body that man puts in his body. You're not going to be fucking the same height that he does. You know what I mean? Everyone, well, maybe you might, but everyone's different a little bit. You know, like I said, his cause might not be your cause. He might be doing it. I'm doing it. What's your cause? I'm doing it because the homie told me I had to. I know. Hey, is this the 1-800 the cause? Yeah, what's the cause? What's the real? Yeah, I'll hold. You know what I mean? Everyone has their way of figuring it out and the reasoning behind what they're doing. But I was taught, like I said, the Norteno cause was for the betterment of the people. Basically, man, to make the people equal, of equal footing, you know. We want social status of equality. What social status of equality means, like, if we hit that yarda, man, we want our bars too. We want our weight piles. We want our tables. We don't want to be treated any differently than any of these other group segments, and we're willing to fight hard to establish that. We don't just give it to us. We'll fight for it. You know, like every other group segment that's been around from a long time ago, man, they fought. You know, when the forefathers fought to establish yardas, they fought for the betterment of the people so that the people will have that. See, it was started out, Vatos were being oppressed. You know, the Historia, I can get into the Historia, where Vatos were being oppressed, and Vatos felt that for no other reason, man, they weren't feeling that. They kind of went against that grain, you know, and started a clandestine group, and it bloomed from here to there, the blooming flower, and things took place. Man, this is way before Norteños were established. Then when Norteños became established as the soldados for the familia, then things changed, right? Things changed, you know. It now became a people that had to fight for the struggle of everybody. You know, that's what they said. What's the struggle? The struggle is anything you make of it, humps. You know what I mean? Every time you wake up in the pinta every morning, everyone's struggling. That's the struggle. You know, but the struggle of the Norteño place just a little bit different. We're always outnumbered. You know, there's always hardships to go through, lockdown situations, no cantina. The struggle gets fucking real. Not only are you struggling by being a prisoner, you're already locked up. So this fucking sucks. This is a struggle. No, you're going to, motherfucker, if you're from up north, you're going to feel the real struggle. And I'm going to tell you, separate the differences between the north and the south struggle. Trip out on this. Here's the south struggle. There's too many fucking homeboys. All fucking, I get a visit today because they might stop it because they're way too many. There's always a lot. They always got the majority on the yard. Their internal confliction is with hoods from the calles. You know, so ain't too much of a struggle there. You always got a whole bunch of different things that are going into what they got going on. But it doesn't seem as worse as it is being in Norteño, where you get to a fucking yarda, they can ship you down south, they can ship you wherever. 2-3 homeboys. One of them, you know, ain't no good. You get fucking homeboys that fucking ain't about that business, ain't about that life, man, but you're stuck with them. You got to carry them. You know what I mean? Your back already hurts. Hey, let me get a big back, right? Charlie, let's get off my back, homes. I'm tired of carrying motherfuckers, right? And then you get these lockdown situations where Norteños, man, don't conform to a lot of things that the administration wants them to. Charlie, man, we ain't telling shit, bata. Go, hey, do your jale. Do your pinche job at the orale Pac-Man, right? And they have to do their fucking jale, and at the same time doing their job, man. That entails a lot of the Norteños being oppressed by administration because administration is pissed because Norteños make them work for their shit, homes. And I'm not saying the Sureños, the Southsiders don't make them work. Oh, obviously they do, man. They make these motherfuckers work too. But this just is another hard shit put in our plate, you know. And the beat goes on. The beat goes on. Other group segments feel that, hey, maybe we can move on these individuals because these individuals are up short, and they find out, oh no, they done fucked up, right? That shit ain't gonna work. And this is just the different things that you have to go through, man, as being a Norteño and the Norteño plight. And this is where the cause comes into it. If you're really about that cause, if you're really a true believer into that cause, you will stand firm in your stance, 10 toes down, and it's on and cracking. And you got to roll with the punches. Nowadays there's a lot of different things going on. I don't want to get into the intricate policies and political makeup of what's going on right now, because to be honest and totally truthful with you, I'm not fucking there, so I don't know. I've done in that fashion. And I'd sit here, I'd be a liar and a fat mouth, like fucking that fucking, how can you just leave? You know what I mean? Like fucking crazy fucking stories that Bob also, right? I'd be like him, lying to the gente. If I sat here and I told you, boom, 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 homeless boom, I'd be a lying ass motherfucker like that fat mouth, that Jerry Curl fucking piece of shit. If I sat here and I told you what's going on today, because I don't know, Vato. I'm only going on he said, she said, hearsay. Secondhand information, Vato, right? If I was right there with my own lentes on, then I could fucking tell you what's going on, right? But in a menudo style, I can't. And I'm just going to keep it real. At least not as accurate as it should be. I'm not giving it its due diligence, its due justice. So I'm not going to speak on that. But I will tell you this, the cause has been watered down. It's changed, right? And it's not watered down because of the individuals running the show. Charlie, them vatos are the same OGs. The same OGs, right? They're still doing their thing. Order genuine. They're still fucking doing their thing as they were. It's the character of man now that are incarcerated. It's being able to tell, Holmes, it's become mainstream. I'm a dig ride to the dig side. Vatos like that made it mainstream. Vatos like fucking homeless bum made it mainstream to tell on people. Vatos like OG made it okay to tell on people. It's okay. You guys doing it. You guys are doing it, right? It must be okay. Charlie, ain't no fucking telling okay, bro. But this is what you guys are doing. So this has watered the game down because it's became mainstream. All these youngsters are looking like, it's like what 6ix9ine's doing it. He got the gold chain. What the? I'm a dig right to the dig line. See all the wobble, wobble, wobble. Charlie, bro, it ain't none of that, you clout chasing motherfuckers. Trip out. At the end of the day, man, that old school shit, that ingrained into our head, old school fucking pintero shit, that pinto shit was the real deal. If the shit ain't broke, don't fix it. Of course, you gotta adapt to the new times. But you ain't gotta wear some fucking skinny, tight ass pants to do that, hums. You know what I mean? You gotta, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, it ain't fucking with you, don't fuck with it, right? But vatos seem to stray away from the cause because they're letting these modern times and what's going on now around them affect what was already put in place by the forefathers. Okay? Like I said, I'm not here to poison no youngsters. I'm not here for none of that, man. I'm just here to give you the really real. And this is the real deal. This is how a lot of OGs, a lot of real motherfuckers see it. I know that's the way I see it. I sit back. I mean, I don't got no horse in the race like that, but I sit back. And I said, this shit's all horse feather, right? And this is the reason why. Because vatos are not fighting for a cause like we were. See, our cause, we woke up in the morning, so I was scared. Watch out, this is Norteno, homie. We're going to show that we're established. We're going to show every day that we ain't going out like that. When I was down south in Nellis, vato said, put on your shirt on. Fuck you, puto, put it on for me. Well, I'll put it on for you. Tiger, right? It was on and cracking. Wasn't not happening. You can't use the microwave. Oh, yes. Motherfucker, I'm going to make a sopa, right? All these little things to oppress the people, the northern gente, just from merely being up north and standing on our toes, right? Didn't work. Because vatos like me and the vatos that were around me, Spooky, the Salas, Spanky, the Gilas, Shadow, the Richmond, Cisco, the San Fran, Soldier Boy, the Stockton, Bad Boy, the 36th Street, Sacra, you know what I mean? And the list goes on, Sykes from Goshen. The list can go on and on and on and on and on of these real righteous motherfuckers, boo from Stockton. Shout out, my boy. Weren't going out like that. We weren't going to go out like that, bro. We're paving the way. Follow the yellow background. Follow the yellow background. You know what I mean? We're going to pave the way. Wasn't no fucking room for cowardly lions. You know what I mean? Like I said, Tin Man shit, homie. No heart. You had to be heartless for the cause. You had to understand that there's going to be hardships and struggles in what you're going to go through. But you had to be able to suck that up, homie, and do your thing. Do your thing. And this is the things that we did and the adversities that we went through for the gente. For the northern gente. But not only for the northern gente, for all gente. Because all raza to me is oppressed anyways. But it's what you make of it. There's going to be a lot of authors that say, no, we're not an oppressed people. That's bullshit. We got the same equal justices and liberties as everyone else. Yeah, I'm going to let you tell it. That's on you. It's your story. My story is Charlie, homes. Fuck that. They hate us. Sasuke, let's hate back. I done in that fashion. But not violence, homes. Let's do it in an intelligent way. That's why we're educated. That's why you educate oneself. That's why you read, vato. Education is free. Go ahead and get that, homes. Get that. You know what I mean? Oh, boy. Don't fall into the treachery and the misguidance of vatos around you, homie, that are clout chasing and that are just there to deteriorate and denigrate your motherfucking cause. Oh, I'm using all the big words today. This is just what it is. Anyways, this is what the Norteno cause was to me. I can't tell you there's only one cause and this is what it is. Orale, the placas, you already know what their cause is, to lock me up at the orale. They ain't gonna get me. Not like that. But what I'm saying is this is how it is. The cause, meaning what is your cause to your effect, how it affects your life. Some vatos got a little bit different than others. Some vatos are educated a little bit different than others. You know, some vatos ain't educated at all. Some are fucking way laced up. You know, I've seen vatos that ain't never been nothing or nowhere, but are so fucking laced up. So let's get what you, are my laces untight? I mean, it's crazy. Anyways, at the end of the day, man, that's the true Northern cause. It's all about the prosperity and the propensity for the people to go out there and get it, man, to stand 10 toes down in the equality, social status of equality for oneself and for the group segment around you, man, for the canales, for the brothers, for the homeboys. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Is it a dying fucking art? Is it a dying cause? Charlie, man, hey, we never die. Just multiply. Orale. It'll never die, but at the same time, man, you got to understand, man, to take it day by day and see it for what it's worth, you know, and how it affects your life. No poisonous intentions. It's all love, raza. At the end of the day, man, do your thing. Just do it in a righteous fashion. The gun. You know, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. You guys get everything that you want coming to you. That's called hustling. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out there and I'm going to hustle for my people, for my familia, and for the gente as a whole. Raza United, stand up. It is what it is, man. We with the business, man. North, south, east, west. Bulldogs. Orale. You already know what it is. The gun. Bang, bang.